Welcome to Thoughts Off the Stem. I'm Justin Barone, and today we're smoking on shit. I threw away the container apparently. Holy Grail. We're smoking on Holy Grail. I don't remember what the information is because the container's gone now, but I can tell you this: it's pretty damn good. I think it's a sativa. If it's not, it's a hybrid that leans towards a sativa. It's delicious. Got my coffee, got my smoke going. Tried to record this podcast earlier because I did a dab, but this time I tried shatter, which we'll talk about in a minute. But yeah, I did a dab and I got a little bit too fucked up, which hadn't happened yet. All the dabs that I'd taken to this point, I was still relatively functional. But the one I took today, maybe because it was like a true wake and bake, I don't know. It just it shut my brain off completely. But since I've got this dab rig, I've learned a lot of different things. It's taken me a long time to figure out the right temperature to burn the bowl at, or to heat the banger or nail. It's taken me a while to figure that out. Each dab was delicious though, but it was just sometimes they'd be a little too hot or taste a little burnt, or they would be not hot enough, and I'd have to like relight them a little bit by making them bubble with the torch again. But yeah, I'm slowly easing into a little bit of a middle. Which actually, I have a question about this. Okay, so there have been a few where now again, I'm smoking this in a garage. I only have a little space heater because I don't keep my weed stuff in the house. I keep it in the garage. So I only have a little space heater. Now I close the garage when I'm smoking because it keeps it warmer in here, obviously. It's -5 or 8 out right now. So I've noticed that the banger gets cooler quicker. So I don't have that whole, like most people say, heat the banger for 30 seconds and let it cool for a minute. I heat it for like 30 seconds and then I let it cool for 30 seconds because it cools down too quickly. But I've noticed that maybe because of the garage, or maybe it's just a natural thing that you do when you're doing the dab, but I've had to reheat the dab a couple times. I don't know. If you have any information on that, if you've done that, or if I'm missing something or I'm doing it, just let me know. You can email me at thoughtsoffthestempodcast@gmail.com. And yeah, let me know if I'm doing it right. I know there's a couple different ways because my guy Keith out in BC, we've had a little bit of an emailing back and forth, and he actually was the one that put me on to how to cook BT properly. BT, god damn it. To cook a dab properly. And that there's a couple different methods to doing so, which we'll talk about, I think, in a different episode, because there's a couple things I want to cover with that one. But yeah, so I tried each different method, and like I said, I've enjoyed all of it. Now, the other thing that I've done was originally when I started doing dabs, like a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, a month ago, I started with live resin. OG ChemDog live resin. It was delicious, to say the least. I've mentioned it on other podcasts, the dabisode for sure, because I talked about it and doing a dab. But the ChemDog tasted like candy. It was like smoking candy. I've said that a lot. So I really enjoyed that one. The high was nice. It wasn't like overwhelming. I never got too high. Actually, that's not true. One time I did, it was late at night. I had a few drinks and I decided to do a dab. I guess I did over-dabbed. And I got really, really high, and that shut my brain off. But I really like that stuff. I really like the hive. It seems cleaner, and I like the resin because it's kind of like, it's like a ball of snot, essentially, or a ball of honey. That's better. That's more appetizing. It's a ball of, it looks like a little ball of honey, and you just take little chunks off with your little dab tool, and then you put it in. So it's perfect. It melts nicely down the side, and it's good. Now, I've recently tried shatter, okay? And to get the shatter, I went to a dispensary that I've never gone to before, and I'll talk about that in a little bit because I'm not as impressed as the other one, which is probably the first time on this podcast I haven't been impressed with something. So anyway, I got this other stuff, this shatter. It was the ChemDog live resin was a sativa, and I wanted to stick in the sativa because I don't want to do an indica on a dab until I'm comfortable with doing dabs. So I'm sticking to the sativas, and I got a shatter, a sativa shatter from a different local dispensary. Now, the difference with the resin is that it's sticky like honey, so you get your little scoop, you put it in, it's not a big deal. Shatter, it looks like meth, man. It looks like weed meth, okay? Not that I've seen meth in person, but like you've seen Breaking Bad, right? If you've seen Breaking Bad, that is weed, but yellow, okay? That's the same kind of thing, like little chunks of like ice or whatever. So it looks similar to that on a smaller scale. Now, it's not sticky. At least the stuff I got wasn't sticky. So maybe it was, a little bit, and maybe it wasn't as fresh as the other place. I don't know. But this is the first place I've got shatter, and it was very, very crunchy. Very not good. It's not that it wasn't good, but it was hard and crystally, which I'm sure shatter is like. But it broke up very easily, and if you touched it, it was very brittle. And you couldn't just scoop it because it wasn't sticky. It was just a little shard of glass, essentially. And it was hard to scoop it properly. Anyway, with the tools that I had. So I didn't like that because I couldn't get like a good size dab. I kept having to add in to the dab rig to keep smoking a good size. And this stuff was 77% or is 77% THC. So it's a little bit stronger than the live resin, 10% stronger. The live resin was 66%. But it had a good flavor to it, but it didn't have the same kind of candy flavor. Not that that's, detrimental to smoking it. I'm just saying it was a different flavor. It was almost, probably because of the way it's produced, it tastes different because it tasted like more piney. And again, it could be the plant itself. It could just be the flavor of the plant and the terps in the plant. I don't know. But out of smoking the two, I really enjoyed the live resin better than I enjoyed the shatter. And when I go back to get more, I will be getting live resin, not the shatter. I do want to try, I think it's terp slush. That stuff looks awesome. It looks neat. It looks really cool, and I would really like to try that too. I just haven't, they haven't had any in the dispensary. So the other thing with the dab rig that I noticed was I think I said this on the last podcast or the podcast before, I got a carb cap, terp pearls, and banger as a set. And I was using the original one that came with the whole rig, and then I got this one. I started using this, and you have to have the proper stuff. I didn't have a carb cap at first. I was using a shot glass, and carb cap makes a whole shitload of difference. So make sure you have all the proper parts to smoke your dabs properly. Now, I got 2 terp pearls, okay? And I have been using the 2 terp pearls in the banger. And they've been great. They keep everything nice and heated. It's easier to clean after. They disperse the whatever you're putting in there pretty good around the whole dish so that it's not just like puddling in one spot. They're awesome for that. And they're hot as shit, so don't touch them right away. But recently with the shatter one, I figured I'd try 1 terp pearl instead of 2, and I found that, and maybe it's just this one, but in this one specifically, 1 terp pearl worked way better than 2 terp pearls. I don't know if you've tried them with or without, but I definitely, like the terp pearls. They make it so much easier to smoke it because you don't have to fiddle with it, or like move the resin or whatever around. And the terp pearl does all that for you. Yeah, I highly recommend it. Again, 2 looks cool because they spin all awesome, and these ones glow in the dark, so they look pretty awesome in the dark. But 1 I found does the trick better. With 2, it seemed like the second one kept sticking to the side and preventing the other one from pushing it around. So it was kind of and I kept wanting to hit the banger, and then it's hot, so you don't want to do that. So I'm gonna stick with 1 terp pearl from now on because I like it better. Yeah. So that's my little dab situation. Now let's go back to this. So I went to a new dispensary because they had shatter, and the dispensary I normally go to didn't have shatter at the time, or it was a better price. Might have just been a better price at this new place. So I went to this new place. First problem with this new place was I like to order it online, pay for it, and just pick it up because then it's an in and out and you don't have to worry about it, right? So I went to order online, and as soon as I went to order online, it's the same system as the other dispensary that I was using in town, and I order online with them all the time. This time, with the new one, the one I just tried, I went to order online, and my web browser came back telling me don't put your credit card information in because it's unreliable. Now I don't know how that happens, considering they're using the same exact same companies to run through their credit card purchases and online purchases, but that's already a strike because it makes it so much easier, especially now in COVID when everybody's just going to the door, grabbing their order, and leaving instead of having to pay and all that stuff. So that was a strike. I was not too happy with that because I didn't want to pay. But it's not a big deal. It's not the end of the world. But then when I got there, their menu on the window was actually different than what was online, which kind of ticks me off too because I had to spend more time looking through the menu to see if there was something different I wanted. Just have it all online, man. The other shop that I go to has it all online. I like those guys. They have it all laid out. They're like the Nike of this area's dispensaries out of the two that I've been to, and I think there's like 10. I don't know. So whatever. There could be others. I'm just saying this new one. Get your shit together, man. But their prices were, at least on the shatter, their prices were a little bit better. The resin was a little bit more expensive. The flour was about the same price. Yeah, and then you ordered through like a little walkie-talkie on the window, and then they brought it up, and it was all good. But yeah, I didn't like the fact that I couldn't order online because it may potentially was a problem, and I didn't like that the menu didn't match up to what was online to what was in their shop window. Now, granted, what was online was more expensive, and in the shop window was a little bit cheaper. But like, you know, as a business person, you would think you would want the cheaper stuff online, especially now since everybody's browsing online before you go to the shop and find out that things are cheaper, because now it makes your visit that much longer, and you're standing outside during that visit, and it is wintertime in Canada, and it's fucking cold. So have your shit in order. That's what I'm saying. So I'll be going back to my original dispensary as soon as they get a re-up of some of that live resin, because I'll get more of that. Or maybe I'll just pick up that Terp Slush or whatever it's called. Yeah, so that's really the only bad knock that I have. But again, their stuff is good. I mean, the shatter was pretty good. I was surprised and I was amazed. Maybe because it's shatter, but yeah, it shut my fucking brain off, man. I'm telling you, I did that bit of one this morning, and yeah, I tried doing this podcast earlier, and it did not work out very well. Not at all. I'm pretty sure I brain farted about 10 times before I finally just said, fuck it, we're done. But I still also maintain that dabs are probably more of a celebratory smoking venture than they are an everyday thing, because your tolerance goes way up if you're smoking them all the time. Like, I know going from bowls to dabs, the bowls don't nearly affect me as much anymore as the dabs do. And that's only over the course of a month. And I've only been doing like maximum 2 dabs a day. And that's not even true, because there's some days where I don't. But if I do a dab, like I did one this morning, I'll do another one maybe before bed tonight, and that's enough. But even that, just those 2, and I'm not doing huge dabs. I'm doing like a regular amount because I still like to function. So I'm not going overboard with it. But I definitely noticed that yeah, it fucks with your tolerance pretty good. And then on top of that, I'm still smoking regular flower. So, I mean, that's, you know, but yeah, it definitely ups it. So I would not suggest doing it every day if you have shit to do, or if you work or whatever. I save it as a celebration, kind of like hash, like you used to with hash, you know, when people used to break out hash at a party. Hey, anybody want to do BTs? Yeah, man, let's do BTs. That kind of thing. That's what dabs should be. You break it out at a party being like, dude, let's try some of this shit, check it out. And then like it's all tasty and shit. So like people that don't normally smoke weed would actually probably try it, because it doesn't taste like smoke. It doesn't feel like smoke when you're smoking it. It feels like flavored air or flavored moisture, flavored vapor. You know, they might actually try it for that. And yeah. So I think keep dabs at that as a celebration, as a cool thing to show off, or, you know, use when you have a group of people or a party. But I can also see how they can become a pretty regular thing, because they are fucking delicious. But you can't eat Skittles every day either, folks. If you eat Skittles every day, you have no fucking teeth left. Okay? So just like keep it in perspective. I also want to mention that yesterday, this podcast, this podcast hit 420 listens. So celebrate to that. I'd smoke a bowl because that's on you guys. Thank you very much for listening. And, you know, even if you just listen once and you don't hear this again, thank you. I appreciate you coming by. And I want to thank everybody that started episodes and maybe didn't finish them, and especially the people that keep coming back. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I can't believe anybody's fucking listening to me talk. I mean, especially after... Just seriously, I know what I'm doing. You know what I'm doing. You're listening to it. You know what I'm saying. Come on. Anyway, I appreciate it. Thank you very much for listening. It's pretty awesome. This has been a really fun, off the cuff thing to have put together, just to make sure that I had something to do and keep myself sidetracked and keep myself, you know, entertained, I guess. Because really, that's all I'm doing. Like, I mean, I hope I entertain you too. Don't get me wrong. I really do. But at the same time, this is mostly because I wanted to just entertain myself and see if I could talk long enough to have other people listen to me, I guess. I don't know, man. I want to smoke bowls with people. That's what I want to do. There's a lot of shit packed into that. I get it. You dissect it. Do what you want with it. I appreciate you. That's what I'm saying. So I hope you keep coming back. Yeah, this has been a lot of fun. It's been a real learning experience, man. I had no idea about fucking dabs and shit like that until I started getting into the whole, you know, cannabis and memberville community on Twitter and stuff. Dude, there's all kinds of cool shit out there. Cool people. Fucking, yeah, it's an awesome time. And it's really fun being able to do all this stuff online. I ordered some of the merch samples because I wanted to check them out, because I wanted to make sure that I was giving you guys, you know, the best creative stuff I could in terms of merch and some, like, good quality t-shirts. If you've been watching my Instagram, I put those up on there. They're awesome. Check it out. Thoughts Off the Stem on Instagram. And I got a bunch of IG videos. It's bowl time, baby. I think I've talked about it before. Anyway, check it out. There's some merch up there. You can see what it's like. See if you like it. Let me know if you like it. Tell me what you think of it. All that fun stuff. I'm starting to brain fart again. Holy shit. I had a whole plan for this episode to talk about a bunch of shit, because this is the halfway point. It's the halfway point. We've hit 420 listens, and I think on February 14th, I'll actually be 6 months in. Shit, on Valentine's Day. Guess my Valentine is weed and podcasts. Yeah. What? Actually, that's not bad. That pretty much sums me up, man. I've listened to a lot of podcasts. I smoke a lot of weed. So I would say that they're the two consistents in my life other than my kids. So yeah, happy Valentine's Day to me and podcasts and weed having a great relationship. But February 14th will be the 6-month mark. So this episode is actually the 26th episode. And I figured since I do an episode a week, I'll make one season a year. So that'd be 52 episodes. So this one will be, the halfway point. And I'm thinking for the next going forward, I'm going to bring a buddy of mine in and I'm going to have a co-host. I don't know what you guys think about that. I don't know how it's going to play out. But hopefully it works out, because him and I have some pretty fun, wild conversations anyway. And it's basically a lot of this just amplified because there's somebody to talk back with or talk with, whatever. So it should be a lot more fun. Or it should be, I don't know if it'd be more fun. Well, hopefully it's more fun. I hope it's more fun with the second person. Get a couple extra drinks flowing, get some good shit going, you know what I'm saying? And then we can have more people session out, man. Because that, again, is the whole point of this podcast, is to try new shit, talk about weed, talk about life, talk about whatever comes to mind, and have a sesh. Everybody sit down and join the sesh. Smoke your bowls, do your dabs, roll your joints, whatever you do. I do all those things at different times for different purposes. So you should do that too. Apparently I'm in the mood now. Oh. Yeah. I've really found out a lot about myself in these last 6 months. I found out that I love weed a lot more than I thought I did. I've learned a lot about weed, about cannabis, CBD oil, because I've had to try that stuff. I've learned a lot about dabs. because I've had to learn how to work a dab rig now. Made some awesome connections on Twitter. Made some connections through email. Yeah, man, it's pretty cool. This is a pretty neat venture where people have started to, join the conversation in terms of the fact that I'm getting feedback and that I'm able to actually have conversations with some of you over email or on Twitter or Instagram or whatever. I mean, it's pretty fucking cool. You don't have to just be in person with people anymore to sort of meet new friends and stuff like that. So it's been a trip. It's pretty awesome. So I'm glad that you guys have stuck around to the halfway point of this season. Season 1 of Thoughts Off the Stem. I hope you keep coming back every Friday at 4:20 p.m. on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, TuneIn, Radio, wherever you get your podcasts. It's out there, baby, because I put it out there. That's right. And check out the merch store, teespring.com/stores/TOTS420. Get your TOTS 420 merch and Weed Sommelier hoodies. And thank you again for the 420 listens. I hope we keep growing. Please tell your friends about it. Tell everybody about it, man. Shout it from the rooftops. Let everybody know about Thoughts Off the Stem. Let's grow this thing. Let's get it really going here. And again, I appreciate you guys. And until next time, load your bowls, smoke your joints, do your dabs, and keep your lids low, baby. I hope you have a great week.